up? Let me lower this a little bit. It's a little high. Oh, and I forgot to light the candle behind us.
What's up, y'all?
What's up? It's the Midnight Rangoon. And
DATMAN right here.
it's DATMAN. Check it out if you're unfamiliar. Oh shit. Hold on. There we go. Where are you? There you are. We've got DATMAN in the building tonight, guys. We do need to. We should probably just take turns calling it. It sounds way better.
Okay.
But when you're done, just put it back in. But yeah, this is DATMAN. He works in the shadows. He kicks ass at night. Multiple identities. Only works for the people. Vigilante. Weapon of choice? A bat. What do you have to say?
Yeah. That's all I do.
You want to add a card? Should we build out the DATMAN lore a little bit tonight?
Yeah, we can add a little bit. Arch rival, we can fill that in.
You know who it is? This is
Yeah, I do.
exclusive info. Who is it? Who are you calling out? Who do you have beef with?
I'm trying to think who I have beef with.
Is it someone on the board?
Oh, I do know.
Yeah. Is it the evening?
It's Man in the Mirror.
Whoa, that's a cool character. The arch rival is the man in the mirror. That's deep. Okay. Wow. There you go.
Yep.
What? Any information about him that? You
Um,
know? Keep an eye out for him.
he's the shadows.
He's in the shadows.
Yeah. Follows you everywhere, but yet not there.
That's mysterious. Do you want to continue with that freestyle?
I'll see what the vibe's feeling. Let's see the beat. Yeah. In the live stream. In the live stream. Yeah.
Alright. Well, tonight here's what we've got for you guys. See, no one's watching right now, so it doesn't really matter.
Alright.
But can I listen to it?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm holding the mic.
No, man, we'll send it back and forth. But we're gonna do a round table on craft. Now, that could be the mac and cheese brand if you spell it with a K, or it could mean a lot of other things. But essentially, just making things, doing some type of art that you're passionate about. We're just gonna talk about that. We've already been talking about it all night, but now it's on recording.
Yeah.
And should there be some kind of visualizer in the background? Like, do you know the game Slither? All right, here. Just
Put gameplay on.
check this game out. It's simple.
Is this like AIO, or what do you call that game? Like each another one, I think.
I don't know.
Might be something else.
Here, all the objective of this is, I'm just gonna do this at the beginning at least for a second. Having some kind of server. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. We just watched Luke's new short film. Do you want to give like an actual brief bio?
Yeah.
/ intro. Well, I figured out this game.
Yeah. Over the last couple of months, I've been working on a short film that I was a writer, director, producer, and editor I shot it in New Orleans. It's short film about this black Creole grandfather and grandson going to the streets in New Orleans to raise money so they can stay in their home in New Orleans. It's a film that's highlighting a language, a dying language called Louisiana Creole. In the film, turned out pretty good. Feel like I got good reviews for it. I'm really happy with it. It's not out publicly yet, so the only way you can really watch it, you gotta. I don't know. I've been seeing links around, so I've kind of been saying no links, no sharing links.
Well, I feel honored then.
Yeah, you have to actually. I have to be in present for you to watch it.
That's a fair rule. Do you like rewatching it or no?
Oh, I do. I like watching with other people watching.
Yeah.
It's a new experience every time.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I'm happy you guys enjoyed it.
Do you understand what's going on here?
Yeah, there's a game like this. Also, I was talking about the one with the bubble.
Oh.
And you just eat and the bubble
Oh
gets
yeah,
bigger.
Agario, right?
Yeah, Agario. Yeah, that's what it's called.
I don't know what the IO is for, but okay. So craft.
Yeah.
So would you say your film was craft?
Yeah, it was craft. Yeah, it was good. Look, movies. I kind of see movies as life as movies. Probably not a good perspective, but I just kind of view it that way. Mm-hmm. And I think structure is very key. Like in a movie, structure is important, and you want to know, you want to figure out your story, your characters. Is to figure out that structure, and the plot and themes that you want to hit on in a very organized way. Because a movie is pretty ironic. It's not supposed to be, one thing happens and another random thing happens. It's all very connected, and metaphorical and. So I think that's an important way to view stories, and you try to make stories very personal, and so you can connect with them, and when you're directing and directing, you want to be able to have the audience feel connected to it, and if you're connected to the material, the audience will be connected to it. But yeah, it just takes a lot of work. So craft is hard. It's hard to stay motivated to do it. But I think if you finish it, it's just very rewarding. So, shit, yeah, fuck yeah.
That was inspiring. Thank you. All right, I think we should try to. I think our phone lines should be opened, so that we might have our first segment visitor. I was just gonna say we need some new perspectives on craft. Luke shared his. That's just one way to look at it. I'm just kidding, but that's the right way. But Daniel, I don't know. Yeah, it's the visualizer portion. Oh no, we're getting an ad. Whew.
Hey, YouTube Premium.
I do.
Oh, is that on this one?
No, I do need to get it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Can you do a plug for YouTube Premium for all the viewers?
Actually, I could.
Okay.
Bro, I fucking love YouTube Premium.
Is that crap?
Fuck everyone who said isn't it like not good, waste money. It's so worth it. Like,
what do you get?
So basically, all YouTube videos are ad free. You get, downloads, and when you're watching a video, you can just turn the power off, and you can just have the video playing without having your phone screen on. And you get YouTube Music, which, it's not the greatest interface, but I think the radio selection, when you just random music, I think it's really good, because it also goes towards YouTube, music that's just uploaded to YouTube, and just you can find a lot more random songs than other services or very mainstream songs. So
please sponsor us.
Yeah,
YouTube Red.
I'm just giving you guys a plug on YouTube.
That was I stream on YouTube, so.
And you can just say you're a student and get it for $6.
Okay,
so.
all right.
But
don't tell them that.
Okay, all right, sorry. Don't do that.
Frankly, I've survived longer than I thought I would. But Daniel, when did you know you wanted to be a filmmaker? The floor is yours. No, we're just asking the hard-hitting questions out of nowhere, because that's what craft comes back to, the truth. Not really.
No.
That's why I need to get the handheld mic. It'll make the quality so better. It has a limited range, though.
Oh, I see. I was in journalism school for undergrad because it was the safe bet. And then junior year, it was the safe bet because I wanted to do filmmaking, and that seemed like the safest way to do that.
Yeah.
And then junior year, I don't know why, but I was like, fuck it, it's not what I want to do. I know what I want to do. So then I snuck into Mizzou's film school and took their undergrad capstone class with some finicky journalism credits. And they let me make 2 shorts. And then that's where I used to apply to USC. Haley's dad.
Oh, they can't even see this shit. Haley's dad?
It was the guy that was trying to cut you off.
That's an Eminem
And
reference.
Jesus loves you. Thanks. But yeah, that's a long-winded answer for always. Good. I think always why.
That's true. I mean, that might be even part of why we initially clicked. Just similar vibe.
Yeah, goofy little finger.
Yeah. And slowly we're taking over Hollywood, man. Kyle runs Hollywood. Oh. Luke, you're going next. You better study.
Oh.
And then you can ask me a hard-hitting question.
Oh. When we get a question?
It's a round table.
Yeah, I mean,
Gotta go around.
So, do you think... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, do you think making a movie, superhero movie, is selling out?
No. Well, not inherently, but I don't know, man. It's tough because every time people try to break the mold, they get boxed into back into the mold. So I guess I don't know. That's a tough question. Ask Daniel the thing you asked me.
There's this weird indie to Marvel pipeline going on.
But it almost soils your name if you do that.
I guess, but even if Chloe Zhao tried to do it, and then people just called her movie boring.
Yeah, I know.
Because she was doing Chloe Zhao things, which are amazing.
Yeah.
It's just the vibe wasn't right.
Yeah. But then again, Coogler is the most talented director in the MCU, and he makes. But I also think he's just a comic book fan, and he knows how to do it a little better than an indie person that is getting a big check now.
And he's done action before. Creed. So I think it gave him experience to do another action movie.
Ask him what you asked me on the roof. Or I can. Do you? Well, actually, I mean, it gets political. The thing about the Trump. Would you make a? If Trump gives you like $1 million, will you make like 3 commercials for him? For the Trump campaign. For $1 million.
I mean, that's a great question.
Yeah.
For how much?
3, like $1 million.
3 1-minute ads for $1 million. Directed by Daniel Roman.
Yeah.
My name just stapled on it.
I said you could probably just not really put your name on it.
I mean, I'll say no, but that's a very naive answer. Probably, I don't have like $1 million sitting in front. What did you guys say?
Same as you, basically. Like, seems like something I would like to say no to.
I would say yes. No, maybe. Well, if the commercial is good, if it connects with people, be like, wow. I like that. I don't agree. I don't agree with the politics, but damn, that was a good commercial.
So basically, craft. What does that say about craft?
Is craft about quality
or
money? Is it about quality? Is it about money? Is it by likability? Or is it just like whatever you enjoy?
I think craft is whatever flows through you. Like, you might not even be in full control of your own craft. It might just have to come forth. And if that is 3 Trump commercials at that time in your life, then so be it. We have some viewers. Our viewers are going up. What's up?
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is good content.
Wow.
It's a riveting conversation with riveting gameplay.
Pretend like Marvel and Mr. Trump's interests are so far away from each other.
Making the most money possible and keeping themselves relevant. I thought you were gonna say like, let's not pretend that Marvel isn't watching this right now, scouting for their next movie.
That's true.
This could be Doctor Strange.
Well, pitch to them.
Pitch to Marvel.
Pitch to Fiege.
All right, so it starts. Slither is on in the background the whole time. Up in the top right corner, 3 people are sharing one microphone, talking about nonsense. And then Miss Marvel comes in. My dad is here. That's my dad. Loves Snake. What time is it, Dad? I can't see. This isn't Snake the game. It's 1 a.m. for him, by the way. This is Slither. You might have thought this was Snake. Did you ever play this? And Dad, do you have any questions about craft for the 3 filmmakers? Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah, and Luke, yeah, good. I'm glad you saw those. I grabbed that for you. Good. We're getting some. I need to text. Oh yeah, you know Slither. Yeah. It is fun. Does it make for good streaming content at 1 a.m.? We need to take some callers about craft. I'll set that up in a second. Eric, text him. He's asleep. Oh my god. I'm going back into the action.
What was the question about what was the Marvel question? Like, what was the first seed of that?
Is making a superhero movie selling out?
And then also at say pitch. How would pitch them?
The thing is, it's like there's a difference between making a Marvel movie and being the Marvel guy for the next like 15 years of your career. Like if you do like 3 or 4 in a row.
Okay, like good thoughts to talk about. Like, would you be scared being stuck in the Marvel circle? Really, it's not the Marvel circle. It's the Disney circle.
Yeah.
Cause like Taika,
Favreau,
Like,
I feel like they chewed him up and smoked. He seems weird lately.
Yeah, he's
yeah, he's got a little kind of like too mainstream. It's what happened to Dame Chazelle. But yeah, it's tough to say.
I don't think Marvel is I don't think it's something else.
I don't think so. Like, I think it's just
especially if you actually think like if it happens to be a character with a dope power that you can make really fun and cool, and you have a cool fresh idea, like how John Watts, when he like rebooted Spider-Man, he was like, I want it to feel like Ferris Bueller, and he copied the John Hughes movies, and it had a new aesthetic for Spider-Man, like it was cool.
yeah.
They even, oh, hello, Michael.
Eric?
Oh, Eric, dude. Eric, I didn't even know the phone line was open. But you came at a perfect time. Let me do some audio mixing here. Hold on.
Who's your friend?
Dude, this is Luke.
What's up? What's up?
He's also on the board as DATMAN.
Yeah. DATMAN.
We just watched his short film and it was fucking mind-blowingly good.
The New Orleans one?
Yep.
I haven't watched it. It's not out yet, right?
Correct.
No, it's not out yet.
Jordan sent me you on the an LA network talking about it.
Oh, I showed him the news clip.
Yes.
You on the news. Luke.
Huh?
I showed him you on the news.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Did you also direct something to do with golf, or was it a horror thing?
Autumn Summer?
Autumn Misery.
Autumn Misery?
Yeah.
Jordan showed me that a long time ago.
Oh,
Eric has a
sweet,
great,
yeah.
Great memory.
Yeah, thank you for watching that.
Of course.
Yeah, that was the start of COVID.
Yeah, that's what started it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
New Orleans invented COVID.
I've been listening to your guys' Marvel sellout conversation.
And you felt like you had to call in.
Yeah. But I will say that today, coincidentally, I noticed another phenomenon that Marvel is sort of related to, which is Marvel money and fame makes you divorce your first wife and marry a famous second one.
I have to copy that to Daniel. Also, Daniel, those headphones should work, but if you want to use them. He said Marvel fame makes you divorce your first wife and marry your second wife.
Yeah, you divorced this first wife that was with you through the hard times. What's up?
I don't know, I can't. What'd you say, Dan?
Do you have examples?
Well, Taika.
Yeah, well,
Like evidence? Oh, really?
I've got two.
He's
I've
got two.
One is-
Taika
One is Chris Pratt,
and Chris Pratt.
and the other one is
Pratt.
Taika.
Nice guy, Pratt.
Well, he was married to an actress, Anna Faris, before,
He was married to Anna Faris.
but then he made that Marvel money and got into that Marvel physique.
Can you hear? Okay. He got the Marvel physique.
The Marvel physique is actually real.
Yeah, it's the Star-Lord
And,
effect.
This, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's a trend effect. And then he married Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter or something.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
it's a good career.
And then Taika had a wife of over a decade. Probably was with him in the early filmmaking days when he was really struggling. Made Thor Ragnarok, and it was the Ragnarok to the relationship as well, I assume.
The Ragnarok of the relationship. That's good.
And now he's married to Rita Ora,
Yep.
and possibly having threesomes with Tessa Thompson.
Likely.
It's actually photographed. There's evidence of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So who's next? You know?
How was your weekend?
It was good. I finished a paper.
Good.
I went out last night. Sydney was in town, and I was hungover all day. I get bad hangovers now.
That's what Jacob was saying too.
Yeah, I don't know what it
Do you wanna
is.
play it, Luke?
So,
I play.
You just click it. I think you have to click to move it, or I don't know.
Well, actually, I'll be down to play some Fortnite too.
Oh, really? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Wow, we keep talking.
happy birthday, Sophie Reynolds.
I forgot to text her. You didn't text her, I assume.
Well, I don't have her number.
Yeah.
But I just saw that because on Jacob's story.
It's very
Here,
true.
Daniel, I'll put us in a group chat with Sophie and Jacob.
Wait, what do I have to text?
It's
Well,
it's
her
her
birthday's
birthday. Yeah.
is over.
Not here.
Oh, you're right. It's not over there.
And Dan. I don't know.
From me and Dan?
Put my name in there, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
No.
This one's from Dan.
We're workshopping it on the. Luke, will you unplug that controller and hand it to me? Not unplug it from the top, not that. The charger. At the top of the controller.
Did they do something for the birthday?
Did they? Yeah, Jacob's with her. He hasn't been here all day.
Nice.
I just saw the D&D movie.
How was it?
I enjoyed it. I had fun.
It was bad.
Luke didn't like it. We can make a segment out of that.
Oh shit. Did it infringe on Larry Legendary ideas?
No, it was pretty specific. It was a pretty specific. It wasn't really like a satire.
Would that movie have been made if Stranger Things hadn't like kind of repopularized D&D in the mainstream?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
This is Hogwarts Legacy.
It probably wouldn't. I think Stranger Things did a lot because I didn't really know about. You may have heard about D&D.
Josh Green.
What's up?
See, it takes a while to get it rolling.
Yeah.
You know?
But when it gets rolling, there's no stopping it.
Yeah. This train is going.
Oh, Eric, did you see the new outro?
I did. I rewatched your thing last night.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Because of my hangover, I took a nap at like 7, so now I'm up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I thought you might be asleep. Damn.
I'll try to go to sleep in a little bit, but
Makes sense. Well, we got Josh. Do you want to play the first game?
Yeah, sure.
and yeah, I watched your the one I didn't call on was Sophie and you and Jacob.
Yeah.
Two shows ago.
Yeah.
First of all, you guys were gooned out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hit B. Alright, sure.
And the second one, you were playing Fortnite, and you had like this insane ending to a game where you got second. And it went crazy.
Wow, I don't even remember that.
That's the goon. That's the goon juice did that.
Yeah, and then I made her play, right?
Yes, and she got like 4th.
I coached her poorly into the very end of it.
Yeah.
Wait, are you trying to change the settings?
I'll just see if I can make it less. I don't know. Sensitive's really high.
Oh. Let me... Those are my settings.
Okay, that's fine. I won't mess with it.
Lenny
It'll make you a better player.
Does Lenny Kravitz have like 2 songs?
Or if it's too high, let's log in as guest, and then I think it will be default.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or at least take a picture of what it was, and then I'll change it.
Yeah, I got you.
Does Kravitz have what?
I'll pick this shit up.
Why is Lenny Kravitz so famous?
He had music.
What, like, he was
I want
American?
to fly away.
Hey, have you seen that? Are you the one that showed me that lyric video?
Wait, it sounds familiar. What was it?
It's like, you know, like how on YouTube there's like this old, like, it's like a blue background, white text.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It looks just like that. Like, it looks like any other lyric video. And it's to that song, but as it goes on, it starts to get, like, re-edited.
Oh,
so then
yeah,
it starts,
yeah,
like, making no sense.
This makes you better because you can quickly like turn around faster and you'll survive longer
Yeah.
if you get used to it.
I want to fly away.
We should watch that on the stream, Eric.
It's
Josh,
just like
sorry.
Is Dan still there?
He's coming back probably.
You just watched on his letterbox, I saw he watched Rambo: First Blood. So
He
I was
did, and
curious
we
what-
were shocked to learn that the original movie isn't actually called Rambo. It's just called First Blood.
Yeah, just called First Blood. And it's shocking because the original movie is good, in my opinion.
It sounded good.
And-
I heard it through the wall.
Yeah, and it's not like just like a straight up action movie. There's like actual like, themes in it.
Here, you guys should discuss that real quick. Rambo. It's not just a straight up action movie. There's actual themes.
Wait, there's something right
Yeah,
there.
there's
Yeah.
Rick?
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't want to fight.
Switch over to it. Good. You're almost there. You almost got him.
How the fuck do I build a fucking wall? What the fuck?
Have you played in a while?
Shit.
We can go to no build where no one can build. Get him.
Run away.
Wow. Swim away. Down current. Oh my god. How did you survive that? Run away. You're one tap.
Oh, how do I get more help?
Oh my god. This is amazing.
Fuck!
Go again. What'd you make? Did you fry that or was it frozen? Hit ready up.
It's a movie that like conservatives chronically mistake is like a conservative movie.
Oh yeah,
It's super liberal.
yeah. I think even the sequels have mistaken the first one for being like a conservative movie, because like it's like anti-Vietnam. Yeah, I don't know. He was just trying to pass through town,
Could you hear that? He said it's even the sequels mistake the first one as being a conservative movie.
I saw that in your letterbox review.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize I letterbox reviewed it.
He said that's how he knew you watched it.
And then the monologue at the end is very powerful. He blew
I
us.
DoorDash.
Josh is gonna DoorDash Dave's so that he can get some sauce for his Howlin' tenders because he didn't get the extra sauce. I think there was
know
an
what?
extra sauce on the table that you failed to claim, Josh.
You know what bit me and Dan always talk about that makes us laugh?
What?
Is in the movie The Conversation. We've talked about this a few times.
The movie
Harrison
The Conversation?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison
That's
Ford.
a sound movie about listening of all time.
Yeah.
Silent movie about
Sound-
listening?
Sound movie.
Sound? What's the bit, Eric?
But asking about the Harrison Ford, his character decision.
The
or how he
Harrison
chose-
Ford character decision?
Plays it gay, but never mentions that he's gay.
Yeah, it's just like when I watch the movie, Harrison Ford, it's like an early role for Harrison Ford,
Okay.
and he's just like himself as like a secretary. And then I watched an interview. It's like he's like, I made a big choice in the '70s to play my
That's how you
character gay, and like
Grab that
there's nothing in the movie that tells you anything about his sexuality at all, other than he wears like a green suit in one scene. And
Which is, that's reaching even.
I don't understand. I was like, that's just like you play a character and then you go back, you're like, oh yeah, he was gay. I made that choice.
Yes.
I guess J.K. Rowling did that.
I was just thinking that.
Oh yeah, Dumbledore's gay.
Do you have any questions or thoughts about craft?
I heard that conversation too. Are you talking about like the craft of filmmaking?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think like craft is like something you can learn, and it's like a lens to funnel your talent through,
Daniel, do you think craft? He says craft is something you can learn. Rebuttal? Yeah, no, I agree.
Well, of course,
it's-
it's something you can learn.
It's something you have to just. Would you say you have to be conscious of your craft, or can you unconsciously
that-
craft?
I think the point is that you become you practice it so well that it becomes second nature.
Wow.
That's the goal, I think, of anything, is like whether or not you're a guitarist
Wait.
or you're a swimmer, like there's a craft to it and you learn it step by step and then eventually you just can do it without thinking.
Yeah.
But
I find-
what makes a good filmmaker is like
Nice.
you have like actual natural talent and ideas, and then you have the craft so you can like execute it.
Yeah.
I thought up a question.
Go for it. Project.
Sorry. Just because Luke, you mentioned Last Black Man in San Francisco and Minari. Like, how conscious are you during like the filmmaking process on like references and what has like inspired you and stuff that you're like specifically pulling from in like prep and production and post, and how like conscious are you of this is referencing this and this is pulling from this, etc.?
That's a great question.
Actually, I can answer that. Shit. I think a lot. I think filmmaking, or just art in general, artists are they just steal. Like, we copy. It just inherently, that is what is art. Like, art is, you're copying the world in your own viewpoint in a way, but inspiration, I think that's what really makes an artist or like a director, is just like, what's a director's inspiration? Essentially, their inspiration is like how they envision it, and in order to make a project, you have to have something where other people can envision what you're talking about. So that's why you have like references. You're like, oh, I have this vision. Okay, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, the easiest way to explain it is here's like a bunch of pictures or the sound I'm thinking about, and you just like contextualize it in your own way. And that's how you get something like original, when you just have a bunch of different like ideas, concepts, and you just put them together.
You can boost with circle.
Okay, I'm looking for someone who's shooting at me.
I want to answer that question, and then Josh says discuss the craft of slight disturbance. There was none.
What is this guy doing?
But let's see. References. I think definitely in the prep, there's a lookbook of slight disturbance, and one of the things that Rohan drew from in the look was us, because there's like parts of it that take place on the beach and are like slightly eerie.
And you're playing with shadows a lot, which us does a lot too.
That's a good point, but that could be some unconscious craft. The only time that I did like really think about the shadow was when I chose to put the silhouette of the magician on the shower, so it was clearer that the implication was like he was hiding behind there. But yeah, so I do think, at least for me, it comes up more in prep, when we're deciding on a tone. But then once you're like on set, so many factors are so specific to that day that it ends up feeling already like its own thing, kind of. Unless you watch a shot back and you're like, that fucking looks like Midsummer. Like, that could be in Midsummer or something.
Posting, unless you're doing like the dailies and stuff.
Or like you're like watching playback to see like, did we get it? It's like, that's the Midsummer shot. Like, I guess it comes up then too.
The shorthand of like hero.
Yeah, right. It's just, if I say hero, it's like, you're putting someone on the extreme corner. Compare and contrast Spirit Boy to the secret combo craft that Thieves can be confused. What, Eric? There's a guy.
You're saying like Hero Mirai?
Yeah. Like, that just automatically means frame it like non-traditionally,
Yeah, and like have a really slow scene. Well, when you're filming, are you, and like shot by shot, are you editing it in your head?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Luke agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think if you're a director and you know how to edit, you're gonna help out. Like,
Careful. He's gonna fight you now. You're right next to him. You got your
You're
SMG.
creating the shot list. You're creating it with like this idea of how
Shot list
things
is
are gonna
in
come
here.
together.
No way, you're gonna disrespect him like that.
oh,
Oh my god. Let me run around and then.
yeah, I'm gonna take a bite. No, I think references are very important, just because a director's job is just pitching. and people are really stupid.
Okay.
So you just need to, the more you can just dumb something down. If you go on Netflix right now, there's different, when you look at the log line, you can now see just like, oh, it's this version of this movie, or this movie meets this movie
That's the thing,
is
right?
this
It's like-
movie. It's
Like, oh, this is Francis Ha meets Midsommar.
Right,
That's how you
yeah.
pitch it to the people with the money.
Exactly.
Sounds sick though.
yeah, if you just
that's just-
dumb something down.
We should talk about set. Now let me talk about
Sano's experience.
let me talk about the set I've been on that had the least amount of craft going on. It all took place down in Orange County. No, just kidding.
Francis Ha meets Midsommar is Suspiria.
Suspiria. You said you came up with Suspiria, Daniel, with Francis Ha meets Midsommar.
I feel like Midsommar is Francis Ha.
Midsommar.
I don't like saying it the right way. By the way, I'm calling it Midsummer. I'm not doing this. Mar.
Midsommar.
Down with Mar. Sucks for your ass, Mar, man.
I don't know. Yeah. Everyone is referencing something,
Oh, always. Even those probably in comedy and horror, I feel like. Just references.
Sometimes you reference something to subvert it, and that's what makes your thing good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like the best that have ever done it and are doing it are just like ripping off other people. And like a great, like Scorsese and Tarantino and like PTA and Spike Lee are just pulling from like obscure like Kurosawa movies or like French New Wave shit.
Right,
Yeah.
even Star Wars, like
Yeah.
Western tropes.
Because every
And
story's
Twitter.
already been told and you just
And
apply
what?
your voice to it. I don't know.
It,
I
Josh,
think that's so super interesting.
Josh has elaborated on the relationship between Jordan Jurevich and filmmaker animator Sammy Leather. Where has this collaboration been most effective and where has it failed? It's been most effective when we combine skill sets, I guess, because he has things that he specializes in, and I have a certain style. He obviously lives more in the 3D and complex world, and I live more in the 2D compositing world. And I guess it's failed when ambition was too high, and time and resources were minimal. But I don't really have an example of failing when it was like a collab between us.
It was only dubs.
Yeah.
Midsommar.
I've never seen Carlito's Way. Is that a good movie?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, what's it called?
Carlito's Way. It's like a Guillermo del Toro movie. Like Daniel.
When did
And I am
JR
not-
fall off
you-
with his craft? Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going.
No. I don't know.
Do you think there's any craft in lawyering? I'd say so.
Yeah. I mean, there's craft in every career.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Everyone's an
craft of-
artist in their own way.
Yeah, the craft of being an attorney, I mean, it depends what kind of attorney, but I've thought about it, like, the craft is to know all the real, like, foundational, like, cases and laws, and then if you're gonna do, like, a trial, like, make it seem just natural, like, in a story,
I see, yeah. Eric brings up that craft is pretty universal.
I'm gonna bring up Carlito's Way.
Josh said
Yeah.
Carlito's Way is a Brian De Palma movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I must
What else has he made?
Brian De Palma
Yeah.
made the second
Blowout.
best
Eric likes Blowout.
Blowout.
Blowout?
Yeah.
He covers like a mystery with the sound recordist and he like happens to catch
Oh, wow.
a car accident.
Whoa. Oh, God.
And then he's a famous director. He made like horror movies. He made the first Mission Impossible.
Oh, I definitely heard his name.
He made Carrie and Scarface.
Scarface, says Josh. Someone was just shooting at me. Where were they? There they are.
And Sisters or something.
I want a milkshake.
He makes like sexy, scary movies.
Sexy, scary movies.
It's like I'm scared, but I'm also turned on.
Shit. God damn it. I'm gonna leave. I'm scary, but I'm turned on. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. There we go.
Okay, I have a question. Actually, I might not ask that.
Really?
I was gonna ask, do you think if you want to like be do you think you can be creative without drugs?
That's a great question. I think you can. Of course
Yeah.
you can. But I feel like it's easier for me to think like in an abstract, creative way. Well, I don't want to admit to anything here. So never mind. I'm always creative without drugs.
Well, two things that annoy me is not annoy me. One thing that annoys me is, I just like when something is like creative, people are like, "What kind of drugs were they on when they made this?"
Yes.
Like that's like an annoying comment.
Oh yeah.
Like
2 guys here. I gotta get out of here.
you can just come up with stuff if you just like take time, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
If anything's just a little weird, people are like. But then also, the Beatles famously, did drugs and made music, and they would say like they would do the drugs outside of making the music, and they would come in with the ideas because whenever they would drugs and try to make the songs, then it was like horrible.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah, so you can't, a filmmaker could probably come up with some good druggy ideas, but they can't film while they're high,
Yeah, they're not gonna execute it. Then they're gonna have, it's like prepping. It's just a thought.
Yeah. You think Seth high on set?
Who?
Seth Rogen.
I think in early days, at least, he definitely was. He probably always is. I wouldn't want to be, though.
I can see him probably not.
Would you ever be high on set?
As
a director?
Like, if not on like the first couple of days, like if we're into the shoot, we're like all the crew members are doing their job, and like I'm not having any issues, I can probably manage.
Would you go out of your way to do it on a day, though?
Oh yeah.
I probably.
If I'm prepared enough, I'll be okay.
Josh, because I'm high now.
If you're just prepared, like, but
I feel like
if you're not.
Sober, like.
What was that?
Like, you have to be sober on a film set,
That's what I would prefer.
Because it's like,
It's
even if
stressful.
you're high, hours, it's like the whole day, like.
That's true.
Tiring.
Let's highlight that comment. I've turned on the robot voice for the evening.
Oh.
Everyone loves that. That's a new fan favorite segment.
You can take the room. I can't play Fortnite.
We can
Put me
play
on
like
Call of
Rocket
Duty.
League.
Put me on Call of Duty. I'll
I don't have it.
run that. I didn't play Fortnite.
Were you gonna say something, Rick? Go to make
No.
a scene.
I'm just reading an article that Marvel Studios will be reducing its movie output.
Yeah, because they actually are trying to now focus on quality.
Yeah, I mean, when I tell you Ant-Man
It wasn't great.
sucked.
Quantumania?
It was so bad.
Don't you agree? D&D was better than that.
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course. Yeah, Ant-Man was really bad. It was just.
That's,
It just for the thing what makes Ant-Man special is the fact he's in our actual world, and he's small.
yeah.
Not that he's in this mystical, small alien world, and small, and doesn't get small. He just stays the same size
Yeah.
the whole movie, but in this you know, but like that's not what the character is.
To defend, I haven't seen Quantumania, okay? But I will say the quantum realm was like, in the first one, it was cool. He like enters the quantum realm like for like a 2-minute scene.
Right.
I was like, oh, that was cool.
But that's the problem. It was just in the realm the whole time. They should have like somehow incorporated going back to like actual like real world settings, and it just kind of got like super CGI.
Yeah, I thought the CGI, I haven't seen the movie, but I assume the whole movie's in like Spy Kids land kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, I would assume that you would have like a B plot of someone communicating with him in like the real world that could like break it up, but they don't do that.
Nope. B stories in the realm. So there's
What about
no
his,
connection to the real world. There wasn't care about these weird creatures on this universe we'd never been to, and not San Francisco, which that's been the highlight of all the Ant-Mans. It's just it's kind of weird. It kind of took the heart of what the movie was about, and
I'm always annoyed by this inconsistency they have about how his powers work, where he either does or does not have like the same relative force when he's a little. Like when he punches you, it's like a punch of like him, like his like as a normal sized man.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's running on a table, the table doesn't collapse underneath him.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't explain that.
And you can shrink objects, like they can shrink like a tank or something, but you can carry a tank like a keychain. But wouldn't it have the weight of a
The same
tank?
weight, yeah. That's a good
So
point.
They just kind of like do it when it's like cool, basically.
Yeah, whenever the Rick and Morty writers decide.
Like on my own.
Yeah.
Is there a way to like record?
Have you seen Shazam?
Dude, I need to get. That's the thing I'm trying to buy.
Okay,
To connect
another
that to
bad
that so we can-
movie.
I'm working
Unfortunately,
on
I
it.
appear to be one of the few people who hasn't seen Shazam 2. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shazam 2. I meant yeah. Yeah, that
It's a
was.
hit.
No, first Shazam was good. The second one was really bad.
You saw it?
Yeah, it's not
I
good.
didn't miss anything by not seeing it.
No, it was not good.
Have you guys seen Zachary Levi like going down like an insane rabbit hole?
Thing.
Not even that, just like how it's like clear that he's like embarrassed, you know, that it flopped.
Oh yeah, and he's saying like, I tried to get Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty bad look on his career, to be honest.
Just how this movie played out.
Yeah, when you flop a big blockbuster like this as a lead actor, it's kind of hard to recover.
Interesting. That's not very craft.
Like The Rock, like
The Rock really made himself look bad.
like what big movie The Rock's about to do? Do you know?
No.
He did. There was a stretch he was in like every movie, like Rampage,
True.
Skyscraper, Jumanji.
All the hits.
All the movies he was wearing the exact same outfit
Yeah.
in a crazy environment.
He introduced the 2022 Super Bowl.
Really?
Right.
Oh yeah, he did.
He was like, "Welcome to the Super Bowl."
It was a big hit. He was big in that year. But now after Black Adam, I don't know what he's doing.
Looks like The Rock isn't as stable as we thought.
Yeah, John Cena got more roles.
John Cena has like
He's a
managed
good-
his career
good actor.
better. Yeah.
John Cena's a good
Yeah.
actor.
And Dave Bautista.
Luke, do you know that we like technically did, but also didn't win a contest to get John Cena to crash our high school prom with a video we made?
Oh really?
Remember that movie he made, Blockers?
Yeah.
He did like a collab with the Today Show, where it was a short film competition to pitch why he should crash your prom, and the winners, he was actually gonna come crash it, and we entered
Josh
knowing.
Green says, 4 viewers, let's go.
Josh Green says 4 viewers. Let's go.
4 viewers.
That's hype, man. None of them are me. None of them are anyone in this room. That's 4 humans. One of them is Eric.
Josh Green says, road to 100 subs.
Road to 100 subs. Yes, sir. And then 1,000. Sure. What were we talking about?
John Cena.
John Cena.
Oh yeah. So we entered knowing that our prom wasn't in the right month for the rules of the competition.
Well, first of all, let's be clear that he wanted to crash it in May, where no one has their prom.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a. Everyone does it before that.
Was it March or May?
It was May. It was too late. That was the whole
Yeah.
thing. It's like, who has their prom? School's out by May.
Josh Green says,
Yeah,
party at 1,000 subscribers.
definitely, man.
Anyway, so I'll have that over him if I ever meet him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so the Today Show called our principal and said like, we're trying to make it work. If you don't hear from us within 3 weeks, we couldn't make it work. And then they didn't hear.
Making it work for them was probably like, they called John Cena and they're like,
Hey, you don't have to do it.
It's like that.
So you guys won?
They called and said like, yeah, like you guys won. They told our principal and they said
Oh,
don't.
but they put the date that was wrong.
Well,
Or they.
we didn't read. We did read the rules and we entered anyway, knowing we
Well,
didn't.
because
I thought
I-
they asked
I-
you probably, like, are you willing to change the date?
That was the solution, and he was like, we can't do that because we have contracts with everybody. And they were like, okay, well, yeah, that's that.
when we submitted the video, it asked, when is your prom? Because John wants to come in May. In those words, and then I told Jordan, like, just say it's in May, because if we
Josh
tell them
Green
it's in
says,
April, they're just gonna
Eric,
immediately
you're
not
great
watch
and Howie,
it,
by
because
the
it's not even the
way.
right date.
What did we end up doing? Did I listen to you?
Yeah, we just lied.
Josh Green
And we were
says,
just like, oh, it's in May.
incredible craftsmanship in that
So
show.
then when they called, they were like, it's not in May.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's such a weird story to tell, because it doesn't really
Josh
have an
Green
ending.
says, it's a shame that it's been canceled.
It will
and
have an ending
episode
one day.
5 is never coming out.
Josh,
You
gotta what?
gotta meet John Cena and tell him or something.
Yeah, and then get him. We gotta film the sequel where your character does meet him eventually.
Yeah, that we could. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
But my character should kind of have like lost his. It should be like he's pretending that he's over it, but like the second he actually sees him, he like fully reverts back to full John Cena fan.
Enemy right here. I don't like the idea of this guy. I'm out. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I don't.
Or we could be super nice, and if we ever meet him, tell him like you should crash Parkway Central's next prom.
It's like ask for a guy named T-Mac.
All right. Can we talk about some story structure?
Yes. Let's talk about story structure. But wait, really quickly, Eric, I just wanted to say, Josh says in the chat that you were great in Howie.
Oh, thank you. As the two characters.
And he said it's a shame. I think you're more than two, honestly.
Is Eric talking to the Discord?
Yeah. Get in Discord with
Is there a way
headphones.
if I put my
You'll
AirPods
hear
in?
us too.
I'm Rod and Mo, and that's it, I think, right?
And oh, you're not Walter. You're Ron and Mo. Yeah, I guess you're right. You're two. But yeah, it is. I agree with Josh. It is a shame that Howie was canceled and the last episode's never coming out.
What?
No, that's not true. But he said that. Spreading rumors.
I still have to do the mouth. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. You'll find some time.
Yeah, this week, hopefully.
I'll try to I mean, I know we're both busy. I'll see if I can somehow hold us accountable to some kind of reasonable schedule.
Yeah.
But okay, so Luke, you can join, and Eric's a writer as well. We're gonna rank the story structures. So Save the Cat, Campbell Circle.
Okay. Actually, first let's get the list.
Yeah. Let's get the list and let's summarize some of them.
What's it? It's John Truby, right?
He made a list of all of them, or he has his own.
That's a novel.
Ah!
Right. Wait, is that the Anatomy and Story? Or is that?
It's called Save the Cat, I
Josh
thought,
Green
right?
says, Mo is the best character. Imsat
don't
is
know.
not returning in episode 5.
All right. I'll
What's
be
the
done
Sid
with.
Field paradigm called?
What was that?
What's the
Yeah,
Sid
John
Field
Truby.
one?
Oh, Sid Field. I mean,
That's just a pretty basic, like.
does he share? Does he have his own
Josh
method?
Green says, thanks for nothing, Mitch. Where's the support on episode 5?
You might have read more of the book than I've got through. So
Everyone's got a paradigm.
everyone's got a paradigm.
Josh Green says, and here I am, producing the show as usual, keeping it in
Also,
its
we're getting
cycles.
to this era where like cell phones and TikTok is so ubiquitous that I'm getting like movies that won't come out for another year spoiled for me. Like I'm seeing like a lot of like Joker 2
Oh
being
yeah,
filmed,
dude.
and it's like
strange.
clear like climactic scenes I'm seeing.
Like footage from the set.
Yeah, of like I'm not gonna spoil it, but just like scenes. I'm like, okay, well that's sucks.
Yeah. Can you hear it, Nanu? Good idea.
Okay, what's the other structure? It's 8-point circle. What's it called? 8-point circle?
The 8.1 is the Harmon story circle.
Harmon, okay. Story circle, yeah. Okay.
That's my method of choice.
Alright. What the other one? Save the cat.
Start
I'm
with
about to roast Save the Cat.
Huh?
I'm about to roast Save the Cat.
Well, what can you are?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna
Studio
do.
binder.
I'm about to roast the fuck out of Save the Cat. Save the
this-
Cat
is
is
this
the
it?
most overrated one.
Hold on. Hold on.
Actually, I mean, I use Save the Cat, but there's a lot of problems with it.
Is this it?
No.
This is not Save the Cat?
No, they're missing like the fun and games and
Okay.
kind
hold on.
of closing in.
I do wanna hear- Huh?
On the Studio Binder website, you'll have the.
That should be right there though, right?
What, like this?
The one to the right.
This one?
Yeah.
I don't see the funny. Oh, there's. Is this it?
That works.
All right, Eric.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's see if you like this method. Luke's gonna walk you through it,
Oh yeah, I can walk you through it.
and me. I need.
This is my shit. Love story structure. So, Save the Cat. It's a very plot-driven beat sheet where these are all of the plot points that should happen in your film. It can be adjusted on it's very page specific, which actually maybe that's what we should find. Like the page numbers
Okay.
instead of the acts.
Okay, hold on.
Because that's kind of big. There's like the page number you need to hit certain beat point of like plot points.
Here's a question that I have though. Then, do you feel like when there's a method that literally includes page numbers, do you feel like that boxes you into a corner? Or you
No, I actually think it's helpful because that's just a standard of screenplay. Screenplay is compared to other things. There's a formula for sure. And if you want to get your film sold or people to read it seriously, there's rules that you have to hit. And it's actually very strict, which is kind of crazy to think. At least if for like a studio type movie, they're gonna look at your, they're gonna look at your first 10 pages. They're just they're gonna go straight to page 12, see if there's a catalyst, and then they'll go right to page 30 and see, oh, what's the fun and games, what's this B storyline, and if they read, they're looking for these things to hit because just, it's a business. They want to risk, a script that's not following the formula, because they're like, oh, well, we haven't seen it work in the past. This is just a standard, So not saying you can't be successful not following it, but most studios and just films in general follow a very
if they hire
structure.
you to write something, they're gonna want it in this format.
Oh yeah, they're gonna want it in this way.
Okay. Does this look right?
Yeah, that's right.
Page numbers.
Okay, so your film, things supported by Save the Cat. It's one. They're very Hollywood. So if you have a good title, like title and log line, is how you start with the Save the Cat. So you want to start with that. And then you have opening image, which is like the setting of the world. That's like you get the tone, you get the vibe, you get kind of theme of what you're going for. And that opening shot should be able to like tell what your film not almost about, but at least kind of the first look of like what you're kind of getting into. And then that leads us to the setup, which is page-wise, 1 to 10 pages. This is just setting up the world of your protagonists. What life are they living? What personal conflicts they have? What do they do? And then that leads us to the catalyst. Well, before that, sorry, there's theme stated on page 5, which that is basically the theme of the movie. Like, what is your character internally dealing with? It's not that external problem, but it's that internal quote-unquote need that the character has. So then that leads us to page 12. That's a catalyst. Catalyst changes the world's setup, where now they're in a new... They're kind of almost forced in this new world journey that they have to go down, and it kickstarts things, which some people mistake inciting incident as catalyst. Inciting incident is actually the first thing that happens in your script. So that's like the inciting is the first, is like that's inciting the story. That's getting the audience engaged in the story. So like, give me a movie, any movie.
Whiplash.
Okay, Whiplash. Inciting incident is when Fletcher goes into, sees, I think his name's Andrew, or Miles Teller's character. That's the inciting incident where he's drumming and he has the first conflict with the teacher. So that first scene is that your inciting incident, and should... There's more things I'll get into the other structure. That's not Save the Cat, but...
So far, I'm liking the structure.
Okay.
So far, this is what I assume like a movie is.
Well, I'm gonna explain the problem. I'll explain in a second. I'll move a little faster. So we got debate. That's basically where we're rehashing the setup world, and but now the catalyst is kind of influencing things, and the characters decide, oh, do I go this way, or do I stay in my stable in life I have? But then the break to Act 2 is when the character breaks out of their setup once, deciding to go into a new path, which leads us to the fun and games of the film, which that is like the trailer moment. So we see the trailer happening. That's like what is the selling point of the movie. So when you watch a trailer, that's mostly the footage you'll get from there.
You want to talk
What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Exactly. Yep. And the B story, that's something that's introduced at this time too. So it's like the character gets something with them or meets someone. It's normally the love story or friendship, where it's gonna tie in later to like their overall need. They're really questioning what the kind of stakes and why is the character, just like a lot more. That's a little more like thematic story compared to the fun and games, which is plot. Okay, so we'll move on to, there's a lot of scenes. So page 30 to 55. Page 55 is the midpoint of your movie. That's when things changes. Things get real. They either win and get their wants from the fun and games goals that they had, or they didn't, and now they have to set and do a new plan. And now as bad guys close in, this is where things are going wrong. there's more problems. There are new challenges. That's all affected because of the midpoint. And then that leads us to page 75, which is all's lost. And that's when someone normally dies. Normally the mentor character. So like, if you got an old man in your movie, that's probably when he dies. Dark Knight of the Soul, 75, 85. That's the characters just trying to recover, and they're questioning things. Everything they believe in is gone. The sense of death is real. That's a big thing about Save the Cat, is the sense of death at that moment where things need to feel the lowest. Like your characters, like what's the lowest your characters can go to? In jail? Are they contemplating suicide? It needs to be very low. But then the B plot normally comes in and gives them encouragement to keep going, and that breaks us to 3, which this is like the final big battle, good versus evil part of the story, and we get the answer if they succeed or not, and that leads us to the final image, which is supposed to be similar to the start of the movie, but it's in a new light. I think the best example of this is honestly was it 1917, right? That's called 1917, where it's like we start the movie with a guy sleeping on the tree, and then at the end of the movie, he goes back, sits down by the tree. It's just like full circle. That's what you want. So I'll wrap it up there. I'm gonna get into my real big problems with this, but you guys have any thoughts on that?
So far, I'm already on team page numbers, which originally I was against, because if you follow this, like, you're just gonna be left with a tight script. It's like if this it ends on page 110 and it follows this, like, I guess people's attention will be kept.
This is what I always assumed like a movie is, unless it's like experimental.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear why you shouldn't do. Wait,
Yeah.
And my one other thought is, isn't the whole conceit of this idea that like your character has to literally do in like the very beginning, maybe the opening scene, they have to do the metaphorical equivalent of saving a cat so that the audience likes them.
Yeah.
The audience is on their side.
Yeah. Didn't mention that. Yeah, Save the Cat is about a character doing some sort of act of good so the audience can build that connection and empathy with them. A common example they use is the Aladdin moment. You see Aladdin when he steals a loaf of bread from the I guess police officers or whatnot, and he comes, he has it, he does this dance number, he's about to eat it for himself, even the monkey's about to eat it, but then they see these two kids who are starving and hungry, and decides to give them the bread.
Yep.
So that moment shows he did something bad, but now we have this connection with him because he's doing something, an act of good. And they reinforced it again in that moment where those kids were about to get like attacked by like this guy with the whip, and then Aladdin stops him, and then he's reminded that he's like a street rat. So it's him doing this act of good, but still facing that same wall, and the world is out to get him. But I will now explain the problem with Save the Cat, and there is problems. So this is great. It's great to put in all the structure. You can follow this exactly and build a script, and it's a script. When you go to these pages, it'll hit all the marks. It might get someone to actually read it, but when they read it, it's gonna feel heartless. There's gonna be no. It's like, okay, one thing happened. This, it could be ironic, could be interesting, but it's missing that soul. What is this movie about? And I think what this fails to do, it talks about the need. What is the actual character arc of the character? It's very plot based. When this happens, this happens, and this happens, which is great. But what is my character emotional journey with that? And that's just as important as the plot. Because if your character is not going on an emotional journey and changing and thinking about their own needs or question the world, you're not getting a story. You're just getting a sequence of events. But that's what you want. You want to find the change in your characters. And I will show you my go-to outline, which is very hidden. Very hidden. No one knows about it, but it's the best.
Let's do it. And then I'll quickly do the Harmon story circle, which I think answers that problem that you have.
Yeah. Also a lot of film students use Save the Cat, and a lot of times their films lack that hard. Save the Cat's not good.
Okay, what's yours?
Nutshell technique.
Oh yeah.
It's the best.
Luke has sworn to me by the nutshell technique.
It is the best.
Jill Chamberlain?
Yeah, you can. She has a PDF version of it online. I think you can either get
the book. Hold on. Story worksheets.
Yeah.
Like this?
You that's
want to
it.
do it off of this? Here. I can download it.
All right, it is 2 a.m. in here, so I think I'm gonna have to sign up.
That's okay. You're just gonna have to come back and check out the nutshell technique later.
I know.
Luke, apparently we haven't been writing if we haven't been using the nutshell technique.
Damn. Well,
crack the secret of successful screenwriting.
With the nutshell, is that what you're cracking?
Yeah.
It's the best. It's by far.
Are you texting it to me?
I'm trying to see I should have it. I don't know why I can't.
Here's an example from Get Out on the nutshell technique.
That's actually not bad.
You want to try it?
All right, I'm
All right. Thank you, Ricky. See you in the next time. Have a good week. Bye. We have 3 concurrent viewers. Here, see if you can
Go off this one. Yeah, that's right. That one. All right, let's do it. All right, you might have to ignore the writing for a bit, but Get Out's a good example. So this is called the nutshell technique. And this is not the full one. There's 2 versions of this. There's one called so in story there's 2 types of story in the Aristotle kind of viewpoint. There's comedies and tragedies. In a comedy, not like haha comedy, but it's a comedy where a character changes. And the difference between a comedy and a tragedy is that a character has a flaw. And basically the story is, do they overcome that flaw and find strength? That makes it a comedy where they actually learn their lesson. Or they fail to learn that flaw and they don't find strength and then they die because of that, because they didn't change. That makes this a tragic story. So these 2 viewpoints, so you can have a comedy, you can have a tragedy. So if we look at this example, we'll start here at the Get Out, where you start with your
shit.
Okay, so yeah, you start with your protagonists. Who are they? And in the start of the movie, there's something that they want. This is called people think it's like this is, the inciting incident is something else, but this is the setup one is the inciting incident. That's kickstarting us in the world. So, for instance, character has protagonist, they have a setup want. That setup want is something very selfish, something they want to do. For instance, in Get Out, is like he wants to quit smoking, and the character has a flaw that's established at the start of the movie. So, like, for instance, in this movie, it's like he's afraid to leave and whatnot. And then we get to the Act 2, there's a point of no return. And the point of no return, that's when things change. You know, that's kind of in Save the Cat, the fun and games.
And this is, in this version, is 25% into the movie.
Yeah. And what's good about this one is at the point of no return, they get their setup want. They get what they wanted. But there's a catch. Something has to happen because of what they got. And what that catch is the story. That is the flaw. It's testing the flaw and problem of the character. And so keep going with the example. So like the part, Get Out, when the mom's like hypnotizing Chris because he's a smoker. He's like, oh, well, I'm not a smoker anymore. But that was fucking weird. I was just like in this weird world. So now he got what he wanted, but now there's something that's attached to it. There's a catch. And remember, his flaw of his movie is afraid to leave. And then from there, the plot continues, and that gets us to the crisis. So the low moment. This is very important. So the crisis has to be directly opposite of what he wanted at the start of the movie. So at the start of the movie, he wanted to stop. He wanted to quit smoking, and then the crisis is he wished he never wanted to quit smoking and had never been hypnotized. So like he wished he just never wanted to start smoking. There's some stronger examples compared to Get Out, but I think this is still, you still get the point across. And then at this low point, this is the point of decision. Does he move away from his flaw, afraid to leave, or does he move forward towards the strength, which is opposite of that flaw, not afraid to leave? So the climactic choice is when he, takes the earplugs and puts them in his ear, kind of indicating that he's kind of grown the strength of not, he's using basically that, that fear he had when his mom, but he's using this for his own strength to get out of the situation. And then the final beat is that, he makes a choice where, he doesn't need the girl, he can be his own man, essentially.
So is this is the climax, and then this is like the reinforcing beat?
Right. There's two though. There's always two. I'm gonna find a better example. I think it's strange. I might give you, because there's some really good examples.
So this has the heart because it's all about what makes our protagonist afraid and how can he overcome that. Essentially, it's more in his head.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
what do you think, Dan?
can I send to your email? Or
yeah, email me. Just tell me which one you sent it to.
No, I see why this is so good character-wise. I just in the annotations, it's missing what makes it so good, which is like the flaw comes from like Chris's background, that he sees his mom die.
That's a good point to develop it more.
Point of the strength. No, but like the structure still works perfectly. It's just like the little annotation, like the leaving Rose to die. Well, I guess it's layered because there's a lot more that goes into it. But
let's see if they.
But part of why that flaw becomes a strength is the flaw is coming from like his insecurity that he saw. I can't remember. Like he either saw his mom die in front of him, or, and then that ending. The strength is like, okay, this I can leave Rose to die because she's awful and whatever. Yeah. He's not connecting it to his mom. It's not on him.
Yeah.
But I've never seen this much.
I do like the visualization
I just emailed you.
Okay, all right. Let's look at a better version of it. But
I'm gonna show you the tragics, but
which email? USC.
Yeah.
All right. There's an extra step to getting it out.
Oh, you gotta do the
Tight.
Damn, I can't believe I don't have this stuff saved on my. I feel like I just use it so.
Isaac True says, great presentation, Luke.
My dad.
Oh, thank you.
That was good. Very succinct. Very passionate. Very knowledgeable.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dude, like, we learned all those dramatic formulas and stuff, and it's hard to remember them.
Yeah. I mean, it's
without studying them constantly, you know?
That's, if I have to give a note for USC, I don't think they do a good job explaining structure. I think they do a great job of format, at least from the screenwriting class I took. The formatting, just understand why it's so important, I get. But actually crafting the script, I think I wish there was more. I don't think they went enough into exploring structure. They were just kind of like idea based. Oh, do I like your idea? But it's not really like teaching you a technique or like how to actually execute. It's just like, just write it. Might be good. Cool idea. Go make it. Which they do a good job, like making you go make it, you know. But I think that my technique has been combining the two. Actually, I do shit on both. Like I think the Nutshell has issues. Like I think the plot in Act 2 is just so bare. Like what? But if you combine them both with plot and theme and character arc,
that's a good script.
Then you got it, because you got both of them. You got both really successful beat sheets, and you just put them into your film, and it'll just film be good.
Which one should I start with?
I did.
Sunshine.
Yeah, we go to Sunshine, and I'll talk about the tragedy, and we can do Social Network.
Okay.
Because. Yeah. So. That's good.
Not again.
Yeah, Little Miss Sunshine is a really great example of how it's used. So, the protagonist. This is interesting. When you ask someone, oh, who's the protagonist in Little Miss Sunshine, they normally say it's the little girl, but it's not. It's actually the dad. And the protagonist is someone who either changes from the movie or stays the same. And in this case, the dad's a character who has a certain belief, and by the end of the movie, he has changed. So that makes him the protagonist. And it's helpful to think that way, because sometimes when you have a character that changes at the end, and you're like, oh, well, I wasn't thinking about this. This is normal. This is our protagonist. Like, no, well, actually, your protagonist is this guy, and you need to make sure his arc makes sense. And there is change. And there's some examples where you have characters who don't change, like someone who's like Paddington, where it's just someone who's just like, oh, they're very like happy and joyful, but the people around him have to change. So he can still be, so you still can have someone who's else the protagonist. So like in Paddington, it's probably like, I don't know, the mom character, technically the protagonist in this instance, but it's still Paddington's movie. John Wick, honestly, you can use that as an example. He's someone, people around him change. So like, well, that's spoiling John Wick 4, but I won't go into that. But example, okay, but back to Little Miss Sunshine. So at the start of the movie, there's a seminar that Richard gives where he's talking about, how to become a winner. Like it's like his 10-step process how to become a winner. And it was just really quick, really small scene, but that is just a setup one. He wants a winner. That's what he wants. So we go to the point of return where his daughter is like, oh, I want to do this beauty pageant. Everyone doesn't want her to go. It's like, oh, you're wasting your time. You're not pretty enough. We don't want to do that. But he asks her, like, oh, do you think you can win? And she's like, yes, I can win. So then he's like, all right, we're going to go on this trip. And he gets to setup 1 where he has a daughter that now believes she can win. He can get a winner. That he got his setup 1 at the break to act 2. But there's a catch. Now a whole family has to drive. I don't know where they're from, but they have to drive her to California. It's like road trip.
And what was his flaw?
His flaw is shallow. So he is very surface level. So at the start of the movie, his belief is that, he's just, only thing that matters is becoming a winner. That's it. Very, very surface level type person. And then during the whole course, they're testing, like, what does it mean to be a winner? She's very nervous about, like, she don't think she's good enough. This is a good time to use Save the Cat, honestly, in this part, because Act 2 is just so bare, like, yeah. Jesus. But
Save the Cat just says Road of Trials, and it's just like something.
Right. I think it doesn't matter, to be honest with you. Act 2 should just be fun. You can do whatever in Act 2.
In pursuit of the want.
In pursuit of the want. It can be crazy. It doesn't matter. But everything, the point of return, their setup 1 needs to be it needs to be direct. Your crisis needs to be direct opposite of your setup 1. So if he wanted a winner, that means at the crisis he doesn't want a winner. He doesn't care about winning anymore. So when he realized that his daughter's not as pretty as those other girls, and he's like, she shouldn't go on. She doesn't need to worry about being a winner. That's like the low point, because he's believing that, he's not believing what he thought before, And now he has a choice to now be very surface level, just someone who's not very unique, scared, in his shell guy who works a basic business job. He must decide, like, do I move towards strength, where I'm doing something that's out of the box, tackling this guy, dancing with my family on stage and embarrassing ourselves, looking like complete losers? Or do I do the normal thing, take my kid off, and just don't talk about it and not say anything and being normal? He decides that moment, no, I'm going to take a stand for the first time in the movie, taking control and move towards strength. And then once that happened, the final step, she tells her daughter that the grandpa will be proud, and that small moment is very important because it solidifies that act of change. You need 2 of them. So I think that was a better example of discussing than Get Out. But
I like the visualization of like the climactic choice that shows they've changed, and then like the more casual, like reinforcing choice that shows they've really changed.
Yeah, you need the 2. We can go to the tragedy.
Okay.
So this is the other version. So you got comedy where a character changed, normally a positive movie, it fades to black. And now you got these movies, the tragedies. This is the breakdown of Social Networker. And Social Networker starts with Jesse Eisenberg as Mark Zuckerberg, who's our protagonist. And hubris reminds me, that's envious? Prideful, yeah. It's prideful, sorry. So he's super prideful.
Just
full
ego, yeah.
Yeah, egotistic, and just full of himself. And instead of remember that iconic scene, he's just like, I just want to get in the final club. I just want to get in there. And in the point of return, he gets to setup 1 of getting to the finals club, where he then gets the inspiration for Facebook. So he got in, has inspiration for Facebook. So he gets to setup 1, where there's a catch, is that his idea is similar to, I can't say their names, but whatever.
Winklevosses?
Yeah, Winklevosses. And now he's very prideful. He's like, oh, I had this idea. I'm not losing it. He won't bend. So this is testing his flaw of being prideful and hubris. So this setup 1 leads us to the triumph. So this is like where he, in the difference between a comedy and tragedy, the comedy, the character at this point is at the crisis and they're losing. This point in tragedy, they're winning. They're over succeeding because of their flaw, and everything is going their way.
Yeah, it all comes down to like if they fail the test or not, sort of.
Yeah.
Determines the outcome.
So it's like do they change or are they not going to change? And when you don't change, the universe comes back to bite you. So he gets his setup once at the Win. So he's finally the CEO of his own final club with 1 million members. So this is like the big Facebook. And now he has the climactic choice. Does he move towards his strength and find humility, or doesn't and still be prideful? And he decides to still be prideful. And that's when he cheats on his best friend, Andrew Garfield character, and in a New Deal. And now you remember there's like a bunch of legal suits. And then the final step at the end of the movie, he sends his ex-girlfriend a friend request and hits refresh over and over again. And the tragic of this is that if think about like the start of the movie where he's basically now trapped in this world of his pridefulness, where he's now in the Facebook and he lost his friend, he's lonely, and essentially it's the death, which is tragedy. Yeah.
And it's like he got what he wanted, but he has nothing.
Yeah.
And that's a tragedy.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. That's a good way of mapping that out, because and not only that, it's all his fault.
Yeah.
He made these choices.
And that's what a character's doing. They're making choices. You just need to have your character. Yeah, you just need your character making choices, if good or bad. Just have them make a choice. Active protagonists, not passive. If your characters are moving, they're doing something, even if it's something really bad, they just need to make a choice and live with the consequences. And it needs to move on to the next, what are the consequences, essentially. But yeah, combine those 2 techniques, you got it.
I agree.
And make your story personal, and that's it.
They seem to work in tandem. And this,
This is the Rick and Morty
yeah.
circle.
And it works on its own. I mean, so do the other ones, but like you can read it. It is character first, because you say like it's about a character who starts in his zone of comfort. You say you're going to bed. It's about a character who starts in a zone of comfort. They clearly desire something. You have to spend time to set that up. They enter an unfamiliar situation. I just want to read these to refresh myself with them, and then we can actually discuss them. They adapt to the situation. They get what they desired. They pay a heavy price for winning. They return to their familiar situation, and then you have to show that they did have changed. They have changed. So I guess in this one, I guess you could replace step 8 with showing that they haven't changed, and then that just turn it into a tragedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one is just sort of a different way of presenting Save the Cat. But the thing that I like that he does that this doesn't show is he split this circle down vertically and horizontally. I might have to try to find a better one. The top one is he labels honesty, The bottom one he labels dishonesty. And then I think this one also is order, and this one is chaos or something, like where he's loses control, but you get it back again by the end, and you start with it. And he's big on the refusal of the call and the meeting with the goddess.
Yeah.
And the sacrifice as well. I might actually like the more fleshed out Campbell one that has all those beats.
Yeah,
but then
you can look for it. I'm gonna get my note.
Well, they also do say like a movie is essentially 8 main sequences, right?
More or less.
I guess maybe I don't know which came first, this or that, but you can essentially create a scene or a set of scenes that establish this, a scene or a set of scenes that establish this, and then just I don't think they're all equal eighths of the script though.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the issue. I think I don't know. I just don't like the circle. I think the circle is not. Yeah, I don't know. I think the circle is just confusing as fuck.
Well,
Like, I get this hero. I get the hero's journey reference of it, but it that original outline was for books.
okay.
This is a movie. There's ups and downs, not circle.
I think ultimately this is just what he uses to break story in general, like the broader sense of story. Not necessarily it's the best thing for the medium of a movie.
Right, yeah. It is very good for TV. That's also short. I think because essentially it's TV
Every
is
episode.
circle. Yeah, every episode it starts and ends with the characters in the kind of the same spot.
But I even like you can people simplify this to one word in each step, and that's a story in itself. It's about we meet somebody, need, what do they need? They go in pursuit of their need, and they enter a realm of chaos to get it, where they're no longer in control. This is the fun and games, the search. The find is sort of the end of Act 2, which the taking involves, I think, sacrificing something as well, because you're still in the chaos. Like you take it, but at what cost? And then you come back, which is the image, essentially the ending mirroring the beginning, but there's a meaningful change. I think it all sort of leans up to trying to pack as much punch into this moment where which is the last 2 steps of the nutshell, I guess.
Yeah.
But in a different pacing, I suppose. But to me, this feels natural. But I agree. I think combining all of them, I think you should be able to answer all the questions. Like, just because you look at the circle to write it, you still need to know what their flaw is, and what their established want is.
Yeah.
And then whether or not they end up taking steps, what this changes too. But yeah, it is interesting how different they all are, but
Yeah.
also feeling sort of similar.
Yeah, they're all different and same. One's better than the other.
Nutshell.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered teaching, Luke?
Yeah. I'm actually teaching. When I go back home, I'm teaching like these 9 through 12-year-olds. They're like a small camp they're doing, so I have to teach them on like stories. So I will, yeah. But full-time teaching, I definitely want to do for like high schoolers.
Yeah, I could easily see you being a writing professor or a teacher. That was I like the way you presented. So did my father.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yep, I will. I feel like homework assignments just like watch a bunch of movies, break down the stories, and write your own outline, and then each of the students will grade each other.
What do you think about like the feedback, like in writers' rooms and writing classes? Like everybody has to give a piece of feedback and stuff. Like, what do you think about feedback in general?
Feedback is the hardest part of collaborating as a filmmaker, because it's an art to giving feedback and notes. Notes is really just consider, you want to be positive. You don't want to put someone down. You don't want to make anyone feel bad. But you also need to be flexible with your notes. So like, oh, maybe you personally didn't like something. Instead of just being very blunt, you can also say things that worked and things that bumped for you that didn't work. But you never want to put anyone down. And you should also, notes and feedback are also just a mutual thing too, where the person who's receiving the feedback should be able to keep a cool, level head about any of someone else's ideas and viewpoints, because that's always tough too. Like when someone can be harsh giving you notes, but you have to be able to take it, which is important. It's hard to do.
Yeah, people get really attached to their work.
Yeah. But I think feedback is good. I think that's like, can't be afraid of it, because I think it makes you better. And I think at the end of the day, you just want to make something good, put all this time in, make it a project. Shit, I want someone to watch it. Say, yeah, I like that shit. All right.
Feel moved by it.
Yeah, like you want to. You want to just watch something and just, it's like, man, I don't really care about these characters. But yeah, make something good. Follow structure. Structure is like key. If you don't
yeah, it's important to actually know about it. You clearly really know.
Yeah, like you're not gonna make a good movie without it. I don't know. I mean, I personally haven't met, I read someone's work who's just straight with none, so I can't really give someone that viewpoint. But I just know. Yeah.
You can sort of naturally, if you can't naturally, if it doesn't move you and it is structured in a curiously illogical way, then it's just not good writing, I guess, or it's experimental writing.
Writing,
if someone just tells a story, there's a reason these formulas exist, because they naturally fall into those formulas. Like, you start a story typically at the beginning, someone is in their zone of comfort, there is a catalyst, just naturally. And that's why there is really no right formula, although here tonight it's the nutshell method. But
there is a right formula.
They all work on all of those. You can just replot it for the most part.
That's true. They do all work. You do need to find what's best for you, because I think everyone visually just thinks differently. It's an outline, so whatever works. If the circle works, I mean, Rick and Morty writers love it. It works for Rick and Morty. Doesn't work for Ant-Man. So maybe for Ant-Man, we stick to Save the Cat. Yeah, or Nutshell. I don't know if Nutshell will work for Marvel, honestly.
It's a little bit too vague, I guess.
Yeah, well, actually, it will work. I'm just being pretentious, because I think all the great moves in Nutshell.
And that's why structure matters. In a nutshell.
Yes.
That's the segment. Good job, everybody. Give it up for Luke. Woo! All right, now, honestly, I would love to keep going. I feel like there's lots more to, ground to tread about craft. But I do think we covered the basics. We did pretty well.
You did good.
It's past midnight.
Yeah, you gotta go to sleep. You got work.
That's all true. That is all true. So we might sign off. Well, we will. But it's been a great weekend of streams. This one was really special, very fun. We've been wanting to do something like this for a while.
Yeah, no,
and we'll do it again.
I'm very excited. Yeah, thank you for having me on midnight. Yeah, I feel like I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Being here.
I'm on the other side, just listening to this, and like 2 a.m.
And
just on the stream, but now I'm on this side. It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah! Well, you did good.
Yeah, this is good.
Woo! One more time. Good job. All right. Now, at the end of each stream, I mean, we kind of just did it, but I do a little post-stream ramble. Because I don't actually want to go, but I have to go, so I drag it out as long as possible, So, let's see. in terms of a post-stream ramble, I mean, everybody, I don't know, it's Sunday, so we got Monday coming up, but Good Friday is actually a union holiday, so happy Good Friday to all who celebrate, and I will have a day off on Friday, and I'm happy.
This
with that.
Friday?
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I think so. Maybe it's next week, but I think it's this Friday. So 4-day week coming up. Let's get through it. Yeah, stay strong. We both saw the D&D movie. What would you rate it out of 10? Just a single word answer.
Mid.
Mid out of 10. I will give it. I'm thinking 7 out of 10. Maybe even 7.5.
That's fair.
Maybe even 8. It made me laugh.
Like 8?
It had some really interesting sequences.
That's tough.
I think the writing is maybe like the worst part, but the world building, the camera, I don't know.
Yeah.
The production design was on point. But wait, I made you stick to one word, so my bad. 8. Mid and 8. And that is the dichotomy of man. All right, do you want to do the honors of hitting this button to send us out on the rocket ship?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Guys, thank you for watching.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Yeah, subscribe to the Midnight Rangoon for more discussions on craft and more amazing segments. This is stream number 77. You got 76 others to catch up on. And we'll be going up to at least 1 million. So, subscribe. Thank you very much. We'll be in the next one, but for now, we're going to fly this ship on out of here. In a second, hit outro animation. Not yet.
Oh, okay.
In like 5 seconds. I'll tell you. We're going to, and when you do it, let's wave. Because like the camera's like pulling out, you know?
Oh, okay.
So it's like, our ship, you know, we docked. We spent some time together. It's been an hour, 53 minutes. 13 people stopped by. Thank you very much. You mean the world to us. We love doing this. We'll do it again. And until next time, Rangoon out. Peace. Thank you. We're heading off into space.
All right.
Let's give one more applause for Luke. Thank you. And goodbye, everybody. Good night. Woo!
The Midnight Rangoon says, shout out to DATMAN. The Midnight Rangoon says, thanks to all who watched. The Midnight Rangoon says, we'll see you next time.